Welcome back to the Vergas Show. I'm here still with Willi, and he has so graciously decided that he was going to tell us how he ended up in our beautiful community here. We ended up our last segment with just a wonderful message, Willi, and I know that that's what you live by, and I think that's probably what ended up leading you to this area. So yes. I want to hear how you ended up in our community.
So living in the cities, which is a disaster of then and now, and so working at Cenex, having a good job, I worked my way up, had a company car and 4 weeks vacation, doctor free, you name it. And but I met a fellow there, his name was Leo Manning. He was from Frise and worked in the cities. Yes. He was living in the cities then, you know. And I met him and we became kind of like friends. And October 72, he took me up here for duck hunting. Mm-hmm. I wasn't a hunter, I went with him and watched the whole thing.
You didn't have a gun? Or
I didn't have a gun, but you know, okay. I learned shooting pretty early. I'm a good shot, but I don't want it.
No,
anyway.
You don't want a duck.
No, and I don't want to shoot either. So anyway, and he had a little cabin on Lake 6. What was it, 18 by 20. So, and I fell in love with that little cabin, and we always went camping, and I said, Leo, how much do you want? And I still had a little money from Germany. Well, he says, I don't know yet. I don't want to give it up until, he says, I might get another place on the lake here. And there was a guy, or everybody knows him, Mike Hofer.
Okay.
And they were kind of related, I don't know how. And Mike was going to sell some of his lake property, and Leo bought it. And then he said to me, now you can have my place. And it was 80 feet lakeshore, a little cabin on outside water, pump. That's what I wanted.
You wanted just a simple place.
Yeah, just for weekends. And so we came up every weekend, summer, winter, snow that high, ice.
You came up in the winter and camped?
Yeah, because we liked it.
You are a hardy man.
We liked the area. So, and then I said, then my son Mike enlisted, see? So we had no more hang up, and I said to Margot, my wife, I said, you know, we made a big step coming from Germany to the United States. Why don't we make another step, loving it so much up there, and start a new life up there? She said, why not? So she quit her job. She worked for Pearson Candy at that time. And when I came to Cenex and told them what I was going to do, they called me nuts, because I was in there like a maggot in the bacon, you know, good people, friends, and what all. And I said, well, I always wanted to be on my own again. I said, and I don't do it now. I never make. By that time, I was 41. I said, I love you people, but I said, and I cannot stand the cities anymore. Well, we make your job in Dent. So they were going to open a Cenex station in Dent, which I should manage. No, I said, I just want to be totally on my own without giving reports, going to meetings. I said, that's wonderful. So I quit and moved up here on Blue Smoke. Pulled a little mobile home in 12 by 50, and because we couldn't live in that cabin, it was too small, and you know. So, but the cabin was still there. So we started living in that mobile home, and I started then peddling. Oh, that was the other guy. I met a neighbor, and he was a peddler, Solshasky. He was selling broom, but he was old. And we were friends. He was like my adopted father. He said, Willi, and he knew I wanted to live up here. He says, how much do you think you want to? I said, if I make $100 a week, I can live off the land, which I could have, you know, I mean. And so, anyway, he brought me in contact with a company, Harper Industrial Brushes, because he didn't do it anymore. So then I started peddling Harper Industrial Brushes. And quick did I learn I couldn't make it on those industrial brushes because high quality. So I stretched out garbage bags and you know it.
Cleaning
floor
supplies.
mats, cleaning supplies. And in a matter of a year, we could go to Germany. In '75, then we went back to Germany for a visit. And well, that's... And of course, the main reason, again, I have to mention, was the loving for this country up here and the people. Totally different than city people, you know.
So your business turned out to be successful.
So yeah, of
course. You were able to raise your family here then, or
yeah.
you and Margot were able to.
Right, and
I think that's how I first got to know you, Willi. Was coming in.
I met you right here behind the counter. Yeah, and I thought, boy, is she a pretty girl. She reminded me of Liz Taylor at that time. No, really. No, I say it as it was. No, really. So, well, that's nothing wrong. I'm a man. I like girls, you know, but I love my wife, of course.
Of course you do. Yes.
So.
And what I really admire about you, Willi, is you've gone through some hardships lately with your wife not being as well as.
Well, it's 20 months now that she is in the wheelchair, can't get out.
Right, and but your attitude and your disposition, you come in here and it's just like when I met you how many years ago at that counter, and just
like I said before,
you just bring a sunshine into the room.
You don't make it any different by being depressed or, I mean, this is life. We will be here not forever anyway. And when we go as we came, with nothing.
Exactly.
And right now, believe it or not, I have nothing. My place is gone, I had to sell it, remember? So, but why fuss about it? I've been already thinking of going in the peddling business again. I maybe have no other choice. I have to live. And I cannot, I love my wife, I do everything for her, but I cannot sit there day in, day out. You know.
Right, and so you need something
I've been
to fill your time and
I'm
looking at well, and I think you probably do a very good job at it.
I will. Most people, I visited them already, they will come back. You know, that was so other wonderful thing. When I came, really, they kissed me and hugged me, and they said we are glad to be back. So.
Yes.
But I'm not in it yet, really, you know, so I've been still
looking into those options.
Yeah.
We've got an amazing story, Willi, and I just really thank you for sharing. I mean, when I stop and think about you being born over in Germany and being in what you went through as a young child, and it's pretty incredible.
And I would tell everybody, don't forget, you have only one life to live. Live it wonderfully and not, not depressed. Just always keep a smile. Like they said, in the world will smile with you.
That's true.
If you look in the mirror with a smile, you see a smile.
You see a smile.
And if you look in there like a butthole, you see a butthole. And that's how life is. That's how life reflects us. How people accept you. But don't be a fake. Don't imitate anybody else. Just be you.
Just be you.
And realize the beautiful gift we all have in us. Listen to your conscience. You have to watch out, because our conscience is split with the good side and the bad side. Now we're getting too deep in preaching. No, well, anyway.
I think you've given some very good advice that I can't.
Well, I mean, basically it's easy, and if we would all try to live that way, there will be always some downs, but they belong to life. Otherwise, we would not
appreciate the good
life. See? So it has to be, and that's the way I see it. And never forget, put God Almighty first. Now, when I was young, dear Lord, I did not do it, and none of us. We are young. We are in the process of learning life. So the good Lord will forgive you. But then you come to your senses and put God first. And that is what the world should have done a long time ago, hasn't done, and I'm afraid will not do, but I do.
That's
put God first.
Thank you so much, Willi, for joining us, and you have a good day in Vergas.